There's a flood watch in place through 1 p.m. for all of our counties here in southwestern Missouri and including northern Arkansas. So we have seen a lot of rain today. Numerous flood alerts. These bright green boxes flash flood warnings. We have a flood advisory back over across parts of Polk County, Cedar, Dade County there. And then also looking at, or I should say that's a flood warning, and then flood advisories for parts of Marys and Phelps County and back into Carroll County and northern Arkansas. So a lot going on. We've seen a lot of rain in the last 24 hours, but this is just kind of the last 12 hours where we've seen a lot back over in Polk County, kind of this bullseye right here. You just saw some video from Bolivar, but also South Springfield really getting slammed with rain this morning. The main swath now south central Missouri, northern Arkansas. We do have a few thunderstorms though rolling in past I-49, making a run towards Highway 65 right now. They're not severe, but still producing maybe some heavy rain and giving some of you a little bit of a cool down. Back in the mid 60s in Branson, Monette, 70s in our eastern counties, and we'll talk about some big heat this week coming up soon. The Ozarks. We'll talk more about where you're seeing rain right now and what you can expect the rest of the day, but also look at some a look at the big heat on the horizon coming up next.
For a lot of people.
Yeah, yesterday evening storms, overnight rain and storms maybe kept a lot of people up. Yeah. But for some it's been raining and it really just has seemed like it won't stop. Finally summer, Stockton, Greenfield, and a few thunderstorms there with some more pockets of heavy rain. So as this continues to work its way back over towards Fairplay, Bolivar, issued or at least deal with some more flooding because you've seen a significant amount of rain today. Bolivar and over towards Fairplay about 5 to maybe even up to 8 inches of rain since midnight last night. Right now, though, we are looking at showers and storms from Mount Vernon down through Cassville over towards Eureka Springs, producing a lot of lightning heading over into Eureka Springs right now. But like I said, below severe limits, light to moderate rain here in south central Missouri and northern Arkansas right now. Now, over the next couple of hours, we'll see the main swath of rain kind of diminishing and working its way on out of here. But a few lingering showers and thunderstorms scattered into the afternoon will be possible, but not everyone will see rain. Drier heading into the late evening and overnight tonight. We'll watch the potential for another wave of storms to move on in. Models in kind of disagreement with how far south this makes it, but I want to show you a worst case scenario where we are looking at another wave of storms. I even want to watch some of these from maybe packing a punch with some strong gusty winds. Not expecting any widespread severe storms with this, but more heavy rain could also lead to the potential for some flooding at least overnight into early tomorrow morning again. This is 5 a.m. Scattered showers mostly north of Highway 60. And like I mentioned, this model pulls it a little bit further south than some other ones. Some keep it back in central Missouri, but I don't want to rule out that wave of storms, especially with how much rain we've already seen in the last 36 hours. And then tomorrow, heading into the afternoon, we actually dry out. We'll have a lot of sunshine, mostly sunny, and it is going to be a very hot day for your Tuesday. Now today, temperature-wise for the afternoon, we'll continue to see temperatures try to rebound back into the low 80s. Maybe a few mid-80s if you're lucky, but clouds really kind of locked on in into the afternoon and evening hours. Upper 70s by 9 o'clock with overnight lows tonight back in the low to mid 70s waking up in the morning. The next few days will be in the low 90s for highs, and then rain chances going up again a bit Thursday. That's mostly going to be in the evening and overnight hours into early Friday morning. Drier Friday afternoon, and then maybe a small rain chance on Saturday, maybe around 20 to 30% actually, we'll say. But your muggy meter stays very steamy through much of the week ahead. We're looking at really high dew points and feels like temperatures tomorrow will likely be in the upper 90s to a few spots, maybe around 100 degrees, I'd say by 4 o'clock. And the National Weather Service is going to be issuing a heat advisory shortly for the day tomorrow as well. Then on Wednesday, another hot day. Feels like temperatures mid to upper 90s, maybe a few more clouds though that we'll have to watch out for. That may keep us just a tad cooler. But this upper level ridge kind of to blame, southwesterly flow hanging around. It's not until we hit Thursday that we see our next cold front move on. We do still have a flood watch in place through 1 p.m. for all of our Missouri counties, and then extending back into northern Arkansas as well. We have numerous flood alerts out right now from some flood advisories, Mary Phelps County, and then a flood warning back over across parts of Cedar, Dade, Polk County, and then a couple flash flood warnings still highlighted here in this brighter green. Flood advisory for northwestern Carroll County there in northern Arkansas. And we are tracking a little bit more rain. Coverage is shrinking up for our eastern and southernmost counties, but a wave of showers and thunderstorms back from Nevada down through Berry, heading into parts of Taney County right now, or Stone County, I should say. Looking at some thunderstorms and some pockets of heavy rain eventually over into Taney County as well. And these areas have already seen a pretty significant amount of rain in the last 24 hours. Temperatures are variable right now thanks to the rain. Some spots, Branson 66 degrees, 73 in Lebanon, 77 in Camdenton, and 70 in Mountain Home right now. And a look at Branson where you see it's cloudy, maybe some rain off in the distance there. Temperatures today trying to rebound by the late afternoon and maybe evening hours back into the low 80s after the rain continues to move on out. But still the potential for flooding today, and it is a first alert weather day because of that threat, and we've seen a lot of it already this morning. We'll talk more about a first alert weather day tomorrow now for some dangerous heat coming up soon. And storms, none of these severe aside from obviously flash flooding that we're continuing to deal with more heavy rain falling in areas right now that have already seen a lot of rain. So a couple of flash flood warnings here across Greene County and to southern Missouri, and heavy rain moving on in right now, passing through Greenfield with a decent amount of lightning as well. Within a few of these thunderstorms heading over towards Pleasant Hope, southern Polk County, moving through Greene County into Christian County and parts of Stone County right now. Northern Arkansas looking at a few showers and thunderstorms that just passed through Eureka Springs. Once again, not severe, but still some heavy rain and light to moderate rain back over in Boone County and northern Arkansas, with coverage shrinking up a bit, and lighter rain for some of our easternmost counties who've not seen maybe as much rain as some of us over the last 36 hours, but still everyone has seen at least a little bit. By around 3 o'clock today, still a few scattered showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. But in terms of severe weather, really not much happening this afternoon aside from that flooding threat. By the evening, coverage continues to break up, maybe a few isolated showers, mostly east of 65. And then overnight tonight, we'll have to watch a wave of storms closely that may develop back over in the plains and dive further south. Models are in a bit of disagreement with how far south this wave comes, but I'm going to show you the most aggressive model right here that does show these storms making it here north of I-44 that do produce maybe some more very heavy rain, but also maybe some gusty winds as well overnight into tomorrow morning. Some pretty loud storms could be possible. And then by around 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, coverage kind of breaking up a bit, and we'll see just a few showers tomorrow early morning before we dry on out tomorrow afternoon. And once again, some models keep that wave a little bit further to the north, but I do still think we'll have at least a few showers north of the interstate overnight tonight. Now tomorrow, a decent amount of sunshine, and it is going to get hot. Today, temperatures trying to rebound into the low 80s, maybe a few mid 80s by the late afternoon and evening hours. Upper 70s by 9, and lows tonight in the low to mid 70s waking up tomorrow morning. So we start off warm. We'll warm up easily tomorrow afternoon. We have this upper level ridge sitting over us, and the heat really building in here across the central U.S. and under that ridge. Big area of low pressure to our northwest with this upper level trough. This starts to swing through Thursday into Friday. Until then, we are very hot, and this upper level trough will push a cold front through at the surface Thursday night into Friday, and that's where we see a drop in our temperatures heading into the weekend, back closer to average. Until then, the next few days we jump in the upper 80s to low 90s. We'll also have a few storms Thursday evening that we'll have to watch out for that could maybe be on the strong to severe side. But the heat, the humidity coming together, first alert weather day issued for Tuesday now because of feels like temperatures in the upper 90s to maybe around 100. This is kind of our first big heat day of the year, and that's typically the most dangerous actually because our bodies aren't quite used to it yet. Heading into Wednesday afternoon, same story, mid to upper 90s, maybe a few low 100s. That heat advisory could be extended into Wednesday, but we'll have to wait and see. There will be a little bit more cloud cover. Heat advisory here for all of our Missouri counties Tuesday and into northern Arkansas now. And like I mentioned, some storms Thursday evening that we'll have to watch out for. There is a low risk for severe storms as that cold front works on through. Good news though, it pushes in some slightly cool rain and storms here across the Ozarks, and still looking at several flash flood warnings. Big wave of rain from Minnesota, Wisconsin, all the way down through Texas, Louisiana, and we have numerous flash flood warnings here in the Ozarks, back over towards St. Louis and into Illinois right now with this kind of wave of rain. It's beginning to weaken as it works its way into central Arkansas, though still some pockets of heavy rain at times for us here in the Ozarks today. Another wave of storms developing off the Rockies, heading over into Nebraska right now. Watching these closely, some of these could become severe today. And just south of there, back into parts of southern Nebraska, Kansas, there is a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms today, as well as back over into parts of eastern Colorado. And here in the Ozarks, we do have a level 1 to level 2 risk for severe storms heading into the evening and overnight hours tonight, with this kind of wave beginning to weaken as it moves on in, but still could produce maybe some strong gusty winds upwards of 60 miles an hour overnight. 81 here in Springfield today, 101 in Amarillo, 93 in Dallas, 71 in Great Falls, some cooler air over towards the Pacific Northwest. And that's about it. The rest of the U.S. looking really hot for the day today. Humidity stays high, and we'll talk more about how much rain we've seen in the last 24 hours coming up soon. More rain on the way throughout the day today, but let's take a look at really just the last 24 hours. Basically everyone has seen at least a little bit of rain, but obviously some spots, kind of some hot spots, especially along and west of Highway 65. Our average accumulation is just over about 1.5 inches for the area. And here's kind of the big spots back over towards Joplin, Neosho, over towards Berry, Lawrence County, here in Greene County, especially southern Greene County into Christian County. A significant amount of rain that's really just fallen in the last 12 hours, as well as back over towards Stockton, Fairplay, and Bolivar. This has kind of been one of the biggest bullseyes as well. Radar estimates maybe more than 10 inches in a spot or two. But looking at some of your reports and some of your weather stations, here's kind of what they've shown. Fairplay, we had one station reporting over 7 inches of rain, but this is just in the last 12 hours. So not even in the last 24 hours. 24-hour totals maybe closer to that 10-inch range. West Bolivar looking at a little bit more than 5 inches since midnight. Joplin a little more than 3. And South Springfield into northern Christian County, spots picking up more than 3 inches of rain as well. So more heavy rain working its way on in right now. Not severe, but we are still going to be dealing with flooding maybe over the next couple of hours in some of these spots who've already seen a significant amount of rain, and we're just kind of adding insult to injury right now with a little bit more. We do still have another wave of storms that arrives overnight tonight that could lead to some maybe more flooding tomorrow morning. So there is still a flood watch in place for the counties highlighted in green until 7 a.m. And we do still have a couple flood alerts. So this green box right here, a couple flood warnings still in place heading into the evening, just because we have seen so much rain over the last 12 to 24, even 36 hours in some spots. So heading into the evening commute hours, as always, if you do run into a flooded road, just turn around and take an alternate route. The rain is trying to wrap up though for many. We have just a few isolated showers in our eastern counties. And here comes this wave closer to midnight tonight. This fast moving system could produce maybe some gusty winds for us, and like I mentioned, more heavy rain. Clears on out though by the morning commute time for most, and we'll see temperatures warming up tomorrow fast. Upper 70s to low 80s right now. 84 a warmer spot in Harrison. Clouds are trying to break up, so we'll actually start to see our temperatures warm up fast over the next hour or two before trying to cool off a little bit more again this evening. So we'll be in the low to maybe a few mid 80s through the evening hours, and then back in the 70s still at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we'll wake up in the low to mid 70s by around 6 a.m. Your highs tomorrow, upper 80s to I even think a few more spots, maybe around 90 degrees. It's going to feel much hotter. Heat advisory in place for some of you tomorrow. We'll talk more about how hot it'll feel like coming up soon. So seeing a significant amount of rain today. Fortunately, right now, most are dry. We have some peaks of sunshine, and we are looking at just a few isolated showers now. Back over towards West Plains, into Mountain View, over towards Melbourne right now, and many will stay dry through the rest of the evening. We are tracking another wave of storms, though, overnight tonight. These storms will develop off the Rockies, working their way through Kansas, and I think that's where they could be maybe the strongest, and then making a run towards our westernmost counties closer to midnight tonight. This system could still bring us a chance for some strong to severe storms. I'd say 60, maybe up to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts could be possible, but also just some more heavy rain for several of you. And so we are watching the potential still for maybe some flooding overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. As it works its way further to the south and east, it will continue to weaken though. And really, I think many tomorrow morning by around 8, 9 o'clock should be pretty dry, and we'll have more sunshine, and it's just going to be hot and steamy for the day tomorrow, and we'll see it dangerous feels like temperatures. Now this evening, temperatures by around 9 o'clock. Upper 70s still, maybe some spots still flirting with 80 degrees. And then overnight lows tonight staying in the low to mid 70s, waking up tomorrow morning. Your highs tomorrow, I'd say around 88 to about maybe even 91 degrees across much of the area. So we are above average for this time of year. And here's what's happening weather-wise. So our weather pattern features this upper level ridge still situated on top of us heading into the day tomorrow. And then it will begin to weaken and shift its way off a little bit more to the east on Wednesday, but you can still see all of the big heat here across much of the southern half of the U.S. We are tracking though this area of low pressure, and at the surface it will push through a cold front. That'll be Thursday into Friday, and that'll bring us our next best chance for maybe some more storms that could also be severe as well, and it'll start to push in maybe some slightly cooler air heading into the weekend. We'll go from the upper 80s, low 90s tomorrow through Thursday. Some storm chances Thursday afternoon and evening. That could linger into early Friday and drops our temperatures into the mid 80s, right back close to average for the weekend. So tomorrow there is a heat advisory in place for all of our Missouri counties. North central Arkansas, including Fulton County, under a heat advisory as well for the day on Tuesday. Feels like temperatures upper 90s to low 100s for much of the area. So once again, just slow down for the afternoon. Be sure to drink plenty of water and take air conditioning breaks during the day. And then on Wednesday, I think we'll still feel like the mid to upper 90s, maybe a few spots around 100. We may have just a few more clouds that could keep us just a few degrees cooler than tomorrow, but regardless, of course, it's still going to be hot. Now, I mentioned that potential for Thursday's storms. Some of them could be severe. We do already have a severe risk, a low risk right now issued for much of southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas. That translates typically to about a level 2 slight risk for severe storms. So that's something we'll be watching with that. Strong earthquake rattled Cuba and surrounding areas in the Gulf and was felt hundreds of miles away. The USGS says a 6 swang, and so far there are no immediate reports of injuries or significance. Officials say there is no tsunami threat associated with this event, and Cuba does sit near several active fault zones in the Caribbean, making earthquakes also a reoccurring hazard for the region. Of rain in the last 24 hours, and here's a look at our estimated radar rainfall for the last 24 hours, where you see a lot of it kind of along 65 off to the west. Overall, we've picked up, I'd say, about a little more than 1.25 inches once again over the last 24 hours, so not factoring necessarily all of the rain from yesterday afternoon at this point, but certainly a lot of rain in just the last 12 hours, really, back from Stockton through Bolivar and Polk County, southern Greene County, and into Christian County. Significant amount of rain, and that extends back over towards Joplin as well as Neosho. They have seen a lot of rain today. Joplin broke a daily rainfall record this afternoon at a little more than 1.5 inches at their station. Now, I do want to talk about rainfall totals. This is since midnight last night. That kind of bullseye back up towards Polk County, extending a little bit further to the west from around Fairplay report this morning about 7 inches of rain once again since midnight, and then about 5 inches over towards Bolivar, Joplin. Some areas reporting more than 3 inches of rain. South Springfield reporting a little bit more than 3 inches as well. So we saw numerous flash flood warnings this morning. Those have since expired, but we could see the potential for maybe a few more storms tonight to produce some heavy rain and lead to some more localized flooding in spots. It's warm tomorrow, and we'll also see a chance for some storms overnight tonight. Some may be on the strong to severe side. Highs tomorrow upper 80s to low 90s, but it will feel hotter than that. First alert weather day Tuesday for dangerous heat with a heat advisory in place for Missouri counties and north central Arkansas, feeling close to the 100s. We'll talk more about the heat this week and your storm chances a little bit more in detail for tonight, coming up on KY3 News at 5. For storms overnight tonight that we'll talk about for some of you. We do still have a flood watch in place because of that threat for some more heavy rain tonight. Flood watch goes until 7 a.m. tomorrow, just for the counties highlighted in green you see here. Right now, though, we are dry. This really not rain actually falling right now, but here's the rain back down in parts of south central Missouri, northern Arkansas right now. That's about it. We'll stay dry for many over the next couple of hours, but here comes that next wave of storms close to midnight tonight. Some of these may be actually on the strong to severe side, producing some gusty winds for us. And like I mentioned, some heavy rain could lead to some localized flooding. But I do think many tomorrow morning waking up by sunrise will actually be dry, and it's going to be a hot day tomorrow. Upper 70s to mid 80s right now. Now that the rain's wrapped up, we've had cloud cover breaking up a bit. We are starting to warm up a little bit more, but of course that's going to slow down as the sun starts to set over the next couple of hours. And we'll see a warm evening and overnight tonight, waking up in the 70s tomorrow. Highs in the 80s with a heat advisory in place for much of the area tomorrow. We'll talk more about your first alert weather day Tuesday coming up soon. Right, we've had cloud cover breaking up, some peaks of sunshine now. Isolated shower in our southeasternmost counties, southeast of West Plains there, north central Arkansas. That's about it. We'll stay dry through the remainder of your evening, but not necessarily overnight tonight. We'll be tracking this system overnight that develops off to our west, back off the Rockies, running through Kansas, and then booking it here into the Ozarks maybe around midnight tonight. This could produce maybe some strong gusty winds and also some more very heavy rain in spots. It'll be the strongest in our northwesternmost counties and then weakens a bit as it tracks its way off to the south and east with just a few scattered showers. This is 3 a.m. and we'll continue to see many waking up dry tomorrow morning with a lot of sunshine tomorrow and just a very hot Tuesday for us. Now there is a risk for severe storms with that wave overnight tonight. Level 2 slight threat clips back over towards Osceola, Nevada, and then level 3 enhanced risks over in Kansas. Level 1 marginal risks is extended here in green. That does include parts of northern Arkansas as well. Wind gusts maybe 60 to 70 miles an hour, kind of the greatest threat with that. But of course, like I mentioned, the potential for flooding thanks to how much rain many of us have seen over the last 24 hours. Now we stay warm this evening, upper 70s to a few low 80s still at 9 o'clock. Overnight lows tonight only cooling off in the low to maybe even some mid 70s tomorrow morning, and highs tomorrow many around 88 to potentially even 91 degrees tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be hot. It's going to feel even hotter, and we'll talk more about that. Now upper level ridge to blame. Warm air continuing to bubble up here across the central U.S. and really for a huge portion of the country. This ridge weakens just a bit and shifts a little bit further off to the east on Wednesday. It's still hot, but we'll be watching this upper level low, and at the surface it will help push through a cold front Thursday into Friday as this trough swings through the central U.S. So a cold front at the surface will help actually pull in some cooler air, and by cooler I mean average. Heading into the weekend, we'll be in the upper 80s, low 90s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it's going to feel hotter. Rain chances and storm chances Thursday afternoon and evening along that front. Some of those could even be severe. Isolated shower still hangs around Friday morning, and we could see a little bit of rain as well on Saturday. Mostly in northern Arkansas potentially, but it's not going to be a washout by any means of a Saturday. Now, here's a look at your feels like temperatures tomorrow. Upper 90s to low 100s. Tuesday is the first alert weather day thanks to the heat. And yes, we see feels like temperatures like this in July and August every single year. However, it's typically kind of the first big heat wave of the year that can be the most dangerous because our bodies aren't quite used to it yet. So take it easy tomorrow. Be sure to drink lots of water and take air conditioning breaks. Wednesday's also very hot, mid to upper 90s, but maybe a few more clouds than the day tomorrow. So we stay hot and very humid for the week. Like I mentioned, that cold front Thursday will help cool us off, but it does bring us storm chances. We have a low risk right now for severe storms.
Time-lapse shot by a NASA astronaut. It shows a view of the southern aurora from space. This is not the aurora borealis that we sometimes see here in the Ozarks. This is the Aurora Australia spacecraft.
What an incredible sight to see. I mean, it's awesome to see from the surface. I couldn't imagine just like seeing this in person from space.
Yeah.
I'd be speechless.
We'll have to get you up there someday.
Send me, NASA.
Right. Maybe thing once we get through another batch of rain is going to be this.
The heat. More heat tomorrow. Heat advisory in place. The first one